Hello, friend Pat Boone here. I like to speak my mind. We all have the freedom to do that. I'm a citizen just like you are. And when our country is facing very difficult problems, if we could have the ear of our president and the combatants with some solutions or even helpful ideas, it might help. Well, I have what I think is an answer to what the president of Russia, Putin, and Trump are going to be meeting about on Friday, and it may not go anywhere because they're both pretty stubborn. Maybe you've noticed. Now, Vladimir is in an awful spot because Russia attacked Ukraine because he wanted to take Ukraine back into Russia. Ukraine, being already a sovereign nation, was not going to have it, and they're not going to. In fact, I think Zelensky is not even going to be included in the meeting on Friday. So it's between these two adversaries. Now, I want to propose adversaries becoming allies. Got a couple of notes here. Vladimir did a terrible thing, and it has boomeranged on him. And there is absolutely no real discernible solution to this because Ukraine is not going to just kowtow to Russia, and I don't think Trump's going to be able to give them a solution. Now, what I propose is because Russia, Putin, he is afraid that the NATO nations, if they gang up on him, could defeat him. They have all the resources, money, strength. So now he wants the Ukraine to be a buffer between him and the NATO nations. Meanwhile, Ukraine doesn't need to be in NATO because they're an independent nation with all the resources, and they're doing just great. And they could afford to become an ally of Russia in this way. They make an agreement between the two. They will return to each other the territories they have gained. Yes, Ukraine gained some Russia territory too, and they could give that back. Ukraine should come back in one whole piece, and even the Crimea, and that should come back to Ukraine because Russia doesn't need it if this solution will work. Ukraine then signs an agreement, a contract with Russia that they will never become part of NATO. They don't need to. In fact, if NATO gangs up, and this would be their agreement, comes against Russia, then they have to come through Ukraine, which would be an ally to Russia in that situation. They would defend Russia against NATO, which is never going to happen. But it would ease the mind of Putin, knowing that he has Ukraine as a very significant safe buffer between him and the NATO nations. That should be the solution enough to solve the whole thing. And I think even Zelensky could agree to this, but they should also give each other back the hostages that they both took. And so they can both give back what they don't need and what they shouldn't have and become, here's the underlying theme, allies. Become allies. And I think that can be the solution. Let me know what you think. I'm going to try to get it to at least one party in the Friday discussion.